Welcome, everyone. I'm Dr. Stephen Lindner. I'd like to welcome you to Anatomy and Physiology 1. I'd like to give you an introduction to the course, to the layout, and how to navigate. I think it's really important for students to take the time and make the time and watch this video so that you can smoothly navigate, know what your requirements are every single week. And before I get into that, just a brief little something about me. I think it's always important to know a little bit about the person who's guiding the course and facilitating it and instructing. So I'm Dr. Lindner. This will be my 28th or 29th year as a practitioner in private practice. And I think it's my 28th year as a professional educator at the collegiate and university level. I do teach anatomy and physiology at several universities across the United States, from the East Coast to the West Coast. I also run a master's program in clinical nutrition at another university. I teach anatomy and physiology, pathophysiology, and several nutrition courses. Um, so now that that's besides chiropractic, I like functional neurology, nutrition. I like to keep the human body in healthy movement and feed it all the right nutrients it needs to optimize human function. That being said, let's get right into the course. So let me show you a little bit about the navigation. So let me get into the student view so you see what I see and I see what you see. Okay, so when you get into the course, what you will notice, you're going to follow everything in order. So look at this. Course content on the top left. Meet your instructor. This is just a little bit about me. It'll have my bio. It'll have my office hours should you need me, when our Keiser lives are, which are typically Mondays and Thursdays at 7 p.m., and a little introduction video about me. So you can make the time to watch that. The syllabus, one click below. Important to read through it, of course. What I'd like for you to see is kind of like focus on the weight of everything. All right. If you look and we scroll down right here, you'll see that the tests carry the weight of 60%, discussion board work 15%, the McGraw-Hill Connect labs carry the weight of 20%. And during the fourth week, there's a post test worth 5%. If you add them up, there's 100% of the weight. All of the assignments are due prior to Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay? And then here's the letter grade and the number grade associated with it. So far, so good. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Let's go back. So now we've done meet the instructor syllabus. There's an introductory forum where you get to introduce yourself, should you like. Tell us a little about yourself, your background. Not required, but a lot of students like to connect with other students and network a bit. If you have any general questions, this is where you would post them. Don't post anything specific about you, your grades, and your specific circumstance. That you would want to email me or message me. I don't think personalized work and progress should be posted here. I wouldn't feel comfortable communicating about a specific student and their progress in a public forum. But if there are some generalized questions that you may have for one another or for me, you can certainly post them here. Getting started. Okay, so this is what you'll click first. So when you click on the Getting Started tab, what do you have here? The course objectives, the book information. You're going to go right down in order. Complete these items before you even get started. There is a pre-test that doesn't count towards your grade. It happens to be the same questions, I think, that pop up on the post-test. You're going to download Respondus Lockdown Browser and register for Connect, which is where you're going to do the lab quizzes, a lot of your learning, and the optional extra credit every week, should you choose to do it. Here's your certification, just acknowledge. There's your pretest. There's your lockdown browser instructions. You need to download this. All four exams, week one, two, three, and four, are taken using the lockdown browser. No passwords are needed. You will log in to the course and to the exam when using the lockdown browser. How do I do the labs? Make sure you watch this 3-minute video. It'll show you about the lab quizzes and how you access them and what your requirements are. No shortcuts, students. Please make the time and go through everything that's required in order. Tools and resources are exactly as it says. Your student resources are here. You'll access the Keiser Live class by using this tab here. Online support, technology, all of your resources can be found there. Now we get into the bulk of it. What did I want? Oh, tutoring.com is here. Online support. If you click on online support, this is, let me see. That's not the one I wanted. Let's go back. Student resources, the library, online support. I think it's that one. Nope, I did that twice. Technology resources. Let's see. Okay, I'll get back to it. Week one, week two, week three, week four. The only thing different is the topics covered. The formatting is the same for each week. So what are the requirements? Very simply put, there is a lockdown browser exam every week. There's a McGraw-Hill Connect quiz every week. And there are 3 discussion board posts due every week. So when we scroll down in order, when I do a Keiser Live, you can click on this tab. It'll take you right into it. There's your lockdown browser instructions. There's the practice test. Doesn't count for anything. It just makes sure you downloaded it properly and that it works so you don't get jammed up during that first quiz. Here's the McGraw-Hill information. Resource library is a great tab. When you click on the resource library thing here, that's called the APR lab videos and week one chapter videos. So if you click on that, you get to a bunch of different hyperlinks on different topics. Should you need additional help on learning about buffers or cellular respiration or genes or meiosis, phagocytosis, these are all little very, very short videos, nothing lengthy. So that's a great resource for you. And then the APR lab videos, similar concept. APR stands for Anatomy and Physiology Revealed. So if you need stuff on enzymes, glycolysis, Krebs cycle, protein synthesis, this is all cells and chemistry. This is all body orientation. So these are great learning tools to use as the student. Golden, golden, golden. So make sure you play around with those 2 each and every week. Okay, discussion. Now you'll notice that there's 2 discussion tabs. You need to do them in order. So the discussion, this takes you through into McGraw-Hill Connect. There are some exercises for you to do and some learning to do there. Once that's done, then you'll get into the week one discussion. Now that you've done the work, you're prepared for the discussion. This will tell you and give you the formatting, okay? Based on your lab experience for that week, there's going to be a proper formatting that you're going to use for your template. There's a tell, a memorable moment, tell, a challenge or a triumph, a show, real life connections, and then creating a question. Okay, you're going to put your word count, you're going to add any references to it, APA format. It's got to be, I think, a 250 word count for that post. So all of your requirements are here. That will be your initial post. Okay. Once your initial post is done, then you're doing 2 peer review posts on 2 other days. And it could be a tell and show format, or I'm okay with a research and a critical thinking format. I'm okay with either. If you want to use a tell and show format, I'm okay with that. If you want to use a research and a critical thinking, along with the word count references, I'm okay. The topics to choose from are down here. You'll see there's like 40 topics in week one, 39 topics. Don't duplicate the topics. Make sure you read the discussion board first, see what your classmates have done, choose a topic, and then either use the tell and show format, label it properly, or research on the topic, and then your own critical thoughts on it. Okay, what does that look like in terms of formatting? Let's see. They give you a sample. So here is the main post. You put your information. Here's a memorable moment, a challenge and a triumph, the real life connections, the question that was made. There is the word count for this, and you would put your references and links below. For the sample, for the peer review response, this was the topic chosen. I think it looks like osmosis. They chose a show and tell option with a word count. And of course, you would use your references. I'm okay if you want this to say research and if you want this to say critical thinking. All right. So I'm flexible with that, but just label it properly. This was the second post. It looks like they did fluid balance, which was one of those 39 topics. They did a show and tell with a word count. Again, I'm okay with research and critical thinking. It's just important that you put your topic, the label, the topic that you chose of those 39 for week one with the number so that students know that the topic has already been chosen to do another one. Okay. You can read your classmates' work, and based on their work, you can add your research and your critical thoughts or your show and your tell. As long as it's like new information that you're adding to it, I'm okay. All right. Okay, let's go back. So these two are linked. Your initial post is based on the physiology labs that you're doing, and then you're doing 2 additional peer review posts. So 3 posts on 3 different days during the week. Okay, here's your APR virtual lab module. You can click on these links and it takes you right to it so you can do the quizzes there. This is extra credit. If you do all the extra credit and you do well, I think you can score hundreds on all of them. It could earn you 2 additional points on your overall average, which is manually submitted. And then here's where you would click for your first week one exam. The quizzes that you can take in the virtual lab in McGraw-Hill Connect, it's kind of like you're going through several learning modules that you're going to be teaching yourself and reading certain content, and then there's some questions, and then you read, and then there's questions, and then you can score a grade. If you're happy with the grade, you submit, it counts. If you don't like it, I think it offers you 2 attempts, and it'll give you and count the highest grade of the 2 quiz attempts. All right. And look, the same thing for week 2, right? When you go to week 2, same formatting. If we click the reverse chevron, you'll see there's a Keiser Live link. There's your resource library. You'll have that each week. And again, you got the chapter videos and the APR videos. The 2 discussion board links, this takes you into Connect once again, so you can do the virtual labs, learn a little bit about the physiology, and then apply that to your first discussion board post with the 4 different subcategories that you need. And then you'll do the peer reviews. So if we click on week 2, you'll see that the topics change. The requirements are the same for the physiology, where you have your tell, the memorable moment, the tell, the challenge and triumph, the show, and I'm curious, making your question with your word count, APA format and references. Then you do your 2 peer review responses with a tell and show or a research and critical thinking. I'm okay with both. And you'll see that there are different topics for week 2. Post the number and the name of the topic so that students know what it is that you've done. Okay, let's go back. There's the virtual quiz. You could find that here for week 2. It takes you right into Connect. There's the extra credit and the lockdown browser for week 2. Same exact formatting for week 3 and week 4. The only addition that you'll have in week 4 is the post test. Okay, so when you go through week 4, there's the library, there's your 2 discussion links, there's the quiz, there's the extra credit, there's your lockdown browser, and there's the post test. That counts as 5%, so please make sure you do that. Last thing I think I will show you is up on top. If you click on the calendar, you can click due dates, and then what shows up is everything that you have due will pop up there. Okay, the schedule and the due dates. Of course, the course is currently closed. It's not showing it. Let's see, what else do we have for you? I think that gives you a really good flow. Announcement messages, you can click on that to get your weekly announcements. I do post in there regularly. Your grade book and messages back and forth, okay? My information is up on the right-hand corner if you need to message me or email me directly. That's how you would do it. Any other questions? Feel free to email. I hope you enjoy the course. I am here rooting for all my students. Again, summarize and overview each week. There's a lockdown exam. There's a McGraw-Hill Connect quiz and 3 discussion board posts. Those are the 3 graded requirements. Optional is the extra credit in McGraw-Hill Connect. That's optional, but it could earn you 2 additional points. At the end of the week, when it closes, that's it. It doesn't reopen. So if you're at like a 68 average in week 4, you go, can I do the extra credit now? They don't reopen. And if you did have an overall 68 average, which is a D, but you did the extra credits, there's 2 points, your D becomes a C. Okay, so students know their own capabilities. I think it's good to have that buffer, but some students don't need it. Okay, I wish you all the best. Enjoy the course, enjoy the learning, and I'm rooting for you all to do well.